Dexter Southfield Middle School Grammar. Today we're talking about the appositive phrase. To review, and again, you do not need to have this in your notes, a phrase is a group of related words that is used as a single part of speech. It does not contain both a verb and its subject. There are three types of phrases. There's the prepositional phrase, the verbal phrase, and the appositive phrase. In the first two categories, there were multiple types. But in this third type, the appositive phrase, there really is only one kind of appositive phrase, and that's what we're talking about today. In order to know what the appositive phrase is, you need to know what an appositive is. An appositive is a noun or a pronoun. This is very important. It's a noun or pronoun, always. And it's placed beside another noun or pronoun to identify or describe it. And there's a few rules here that you need to make sure you're familiar with too. They may not make sense at the beginning of our studies of the appositive, but make sure you have this. Commas are generally used with an appositive that refers to a proper noun. The appositive is not essential if the meaning of the sentence if they are set off by commas. So set off by commas, not essential. An appositive is essential to the meaning of the sentence if there are no commas. All right. So you've got that down. What does this all look like? Here are 5 sentences that I think will get the point across. First, the author, Harper Lee, only wrote 2 novels. No commas. But the appositive here is Harper Lee. So 2 things here. First of all, the appositive Harper Lee is not referring to a proper noun. It's referring to a common noun. So there would be no commas here. That's number 1. Number 2, it says here again in this third line, an appositive is essential to the meaning of the sentence if there are no commas. And in this case, there are no commas, and this appositive, Harper Lee, is essential. I'm gonna write that down. Essential. Because we would need to know what author you're talking about that only wrote 2 novels. We need to have Harper Lee in there. Next sentence. Sarah ate 1 cookie, oatmeal, before lunch. Sarah ate 1 cookie, oatmeal, before lunch. Oatmeal is the appositive. And you'll notice that it's set off by commas, but in this case, it's only because if there were no commas there, the sentence wouldn't make any sense. Sarah ate 1 cookie, oatmeal, before lunch. We need the pause to make sure that we are being clear that oatmeal is referring to the type of cookie. Next one. Bill Belichick, the coach, led his team to victory. In this case, the appositive is coach, or in this case, we can use the article the. It's fine. And it is referring to the proper noun Bill Belichick. And of course, commas are often used in that case. And then these two present an interesting discussion. It looked like these 2 sentences may be the exact same, but in actuality, they're not. I'm going to make this nice and big so we can really get the point across. These 2 sentences are actually saying 2 very different things. The first one, Steve's brother Larry is tall, and the second one, Steve's brother Larry is tall. Well, remember your rules here. An appositive is not essential to the meaning of the sentence if it's set off by commas. So in this case, these commas are telling me that this information, Larry, which is the appositive, is not essential. This is telling me that there is only 1 brother. And we're getting his name. That's not an essential part of this. The sentence is telling me that Steve's brother is tall. It's also letting me know that the guy's name is Larry. Nice to know. Not essential. In the second sentence, or at this point the 5th sentence, but the second one we're talking about, again, the appositive is Larry. But there's no commas. You can see they're missing. Whoops. They're missing. Therefore, this tells me that this is essential. How many brothers does Steve have? Well, I don't really know, but I can tell from this sentence that it's more than 1. More than 1. Steve's brother Larry is tall. Not Steve's brother, I don't know, Joe. Anyway, the appositive phrase consists of an appositive and its modifiers. This is a very similar definition to the other phrases you've learned about. Here's 2 examples so we can figure out what we're talking about. The Oscars, one of the most famous award shows, is tonight. One of the most famous award shows is the appositive phrase. And the appositive here really is the word one. Then we get this prep phrase, of the most famous award shows. And this prepositional phrase is an adjective phrase, and it's modifying one. So again, modifiers. That's what we're talking about here. That's why it's part of the phrase. And the second one, Randy, my friend running the race tomorrow, is staying for dinner. Clearly the appositive phrase is right here. Randy, my friend running the race tomorrow. Officially, friend is the appositive. And running the race tomorrow is a kind of phrase that you've learned about. Do you remember which one it is? That's right. It's a participle phrase because of running, which is modifying the friend. And this brings up an important point. It's easy to get the appositive confused with verbals. So be really careful. Look at these 2 sentences. Shooting free throws, Anna practiced her skills. This is a phrase. Anna, the girl shooting free throws, is practicing her skills. Well, one of them is a verbal and one of them is the appositive. Down here, we have the appositive. The girl shooting free throws. Within this appositive phrase, you actually have a participle phrase. But the participle phrase is modifying the appositive, and the appositive is telling you a bit more about Anna. Confusing? Perhaps. But it should make sense after a while. Going back to this first one, shooting free throws, well, this stands alone as itself as a participle phrase. Shooting free throws, Anna practiced her skills. This is a verb, shooting, that's in the form of an adjective, and it's helping describe Anna. For reflection, how could the following writing be improved by the use of an appositive phrase? And this is the sentence I'm talking about, or sentences. Disneyland is a popular place to bring children. It is the home of Cinderella's castle. Please rewrite these sentences as one sentence and use an appositive phrase.